Let us first define what terminal illness means. It means that you are diagnosed with a terminal illness, multiple checks have been done, and it's almost a guarantee in our medical system that you are on death's door and that you would probably die in the next 3 to 6 months. We propose a policy that has two parts. Firstly, the person in question has to consent. First, they have to check for clear signs of consciousness. They have to give time for the patient to ponder on it. They have to have multiple consultations to ensure and let them know the consequences of their actions and allow them to weigh and evaluate whether this action is appropriate for them. Second, the terminally ill patients would have to suffer tremendously before dying if they didn't euthanize themselves. So, person in question has to consent, and they have to suffer tremendously because of their illnesses. We have two reasons why we support this. Firstly, the right of an individual to choose when and how they die. Secondly, a total reduction in suffering for individuals. Firstly, the rights of often in life we are unable to choose when and how we die. Some people get hit by a car, some people, are unfortunate and get epilepsy and just die sporadically. These people did not have the choice for how they died, and we intuitively feel like that is bad. Now these patients, right, characteristically they tend to be old, right? They have lived a significant amount of life, and they are told news that they are about to die soon. And before they die, they will suffer tremendous amounts of suffering. Such people are allowed to weigh and are forced to weigh how important their lives are, and do they want to euthanize themselves. That is a choice given to them that many others are unable to receive. And that is the choice that they should be able to make, because they have autonomy over their own bodies. They have autonomy and free will to be able to choose how they want to live their lives, and the free will to be able to end it when they so please. Obviously, as a system, we would discourage such behaviors. But for these individuals, the reason why they are distinct is because they are going to die anyways, and they're going to die with a lot of suffering, and they are not pressed or driven by certain mental illnesses like depression, which causes them to feel like they should die. They should be allowed, because they have free will, to choose what they want to do with their own bodies. So secondly, the reduction in suffering. As I mentioned before, these people are probably going to suffer tremendously. Cancer, for example, is stomach cancer. The tumors would grow at ulcers at the stomach, and it would as it continuously grows, the ulcers and tumors would press onto the organs, and that causes extreme amounts of pain just by living. It's just pain. It's pure physical pain. After administering painkillers, there is still pain, and you would have to put high amounts of painkillers to really reduce the pain to a significant level. However, the side effects of painkillers is the fact that these people are not actually very conscious anymore in real life, because the painkillers are comatizing their senses, they are dampening their senses, and therefore they aren't even living very consciously anymore. They are waning in and out of consciousness and periodically feeling immense amounts of pain and suffering. Is that really what living is? Allowing them to choose when they die, to stop the pain, not on an impulse, but after considerations, after of when they got the diagnosis and they didn't have and their medical condition did not progress to that level, they still have mental clarity to be able to weigh whether they want to euthanize themselves or not. This allows them to make the decision for themselves at the highest peak of mental clarity and the lowest relative pain or suffering that they would experience. This will allow them to alleviate immense amounts of pain and suffering from for before their deaths. And we believe that reduction in suffering is extremely important from like a utilitarian perspective. This is the reason why we think that we are so proud to push this motion. It's because we want the individuals to have free will and be able to choose what they do with their body and their autonomy. Second, we want to reduce these people's suffering as much as possible. This is why we are so proud to propose. Thank you.